Hello everyone, welcome. Today I'm going to pot my very new purchase. Um, so I was away for a few days on vacation, and of course I got sick, but I'm okay. So while I'm vacation, I had my parents house sit for me, and the succulents arrived then. So I purchased a handful of them, not too many, because as I mentioned, I do not have a lot of space. Um, so I had instructed, or I had asked my mom to put these out, take them out of the box, and they've been just sort of sitting in my living room for, I want to say, about a week. So this is how it looks right now. These are Sedeveria Letizia. And I feel like, I mean, to be fair, I don't know what it looked like when it first arrived. I mean, my mom is, quite old, and she's not that great at taking clear pictures. I mean, she could for the most part, but she sent me some pictures and I couldn't really tell. But she literally just showed me one picture, and they look good enough at the moment. And I didn't want to stress her out because I know when she looks after my plants while I'm away, she does get very stressed. But as you can see, I feel like these did stretch. It might have came this way, or it might have stretched in the week's time they spent on my dining room table. So we'll see. I mean, I'm sure these are gonna hopefully straighten out because it's also a bit bent. And as you can see, there's a lot of area roots coming out. But it's good because it's dry, and it's good to it's easier to pot them when they're like this. So I'm just gonna kind of dust off all the soil here, extra soil here, and pot it up. As you can see, this one is very sort of bent. But I feel like I've had succulents arrive this way, and once I pot it and they get adjusted to the sun, it usually straightens out, and I'm hoping that will be the case for these. And a lot of the bottom leaves already dried off, and I just kind of like dusted them off before. So I purchased these because, not necessarily because they're such great succulents per se, but um I've seen a lot of these, and I've seen a lot of pictures of them, and they I feel like the colors, they really um they're just beautiful when they color up in the fall. So these, I've seen them turn very orangey to red, and I'm very like I don't have a lot of succulents that are in the orange family. As I mentioned in my previous videos, I feel like a lot of my succulents, I prefer the pink. So I keep buying succulents that will eventually turn pink. But yeah, I don't have much orange, red, and I think these turn really, really red. So I'm like looking forward to seeing that happen. And here I am. I'm just dusting off all the soil. I'm trying not to, you know, damage the roots while I'm at it. But it looks like it has a, you know, um, good root system going here. As I mentioned, it's been drying sort of. It came this way, not in a pot. It came this way, sort of like already semi-dry, which is, I do prefer it to come that way. And I think that's how most succulent farmers, that's how they ship them. Sorry. And the roots look really good. They look very healthy, I feel like. I don't see any pests. Um, yeah, as you can see, it looks like it was a cutting that rooted. And I was hoping that this, I think I purchased this as a cluster, or at least I thought I was getting a cluster. But it looks like they're just individual cuttings that rooted, and they sent me 3 of them. So, and there's a pup growing out here. And I do believe Letizias, they put out offsets fairly easily. And they also love to put out these aerial roots, which, I mean, they do so for various reasons, right? I think these came out, they're white and they're pretty new looking. It probably came out in the week that it was just kind of sitting on my dining room table, which is not an abnormal, activity. So these roots look pretty good too. I'm just gonna shake off as much as I can. Feel like when you, I think as far as potting up succulents, I've seen, I feel like different countries, different areas, people pot succulents differently. And the channels that I've seen or that I prefer, that I follow, they do recommend that you sort of shake off all the soil, so that when it goes into its new pot with the new soil, the roots can adjust into the new environment. And when you have like soil that are like kind of stuck um, on the roots have a harder time like putting out new roots. I think that's the idea behind it. So that's 2, and here's a 3rd one. And looks like there's an offset here too. So when I shake off or kind of scrape off all the old soil from the roots, I gotta be extra careful. So these succulents, I think they mainly stay small. I do believe the rosettes, they grow up to be maybe like 2.5 inches, and supposedly they propagate very easily, um, and they put out offsets fairly easily. Um, as I mentioned, I don't propagate much only because, as much as I would love to, I just don't have space to keep all my succulents. I like to propagate just to see if it works for me. I do it for fun, and I've had, for some reason, I feel like everybody's a little bit different, but for some reason I have more luck propagating inside, which is kind of weird for me. I've tried both inside and outside, um, and for some reason, my propagations are more successful inside under a grow light. I don't know why. Maybe there's a reason behind that, but when I put them outside, they rarely, the success rate is very low for me, more like 0. Oh no, I just took a little leaf off of the offset, the baby. Oopsie. But yeah, I think that's good. This is good enough. Now, let me clean this mess. Okay, so I'm just gonna dust off all some of the dirt. Potting plants is a dirty business. So today I'm going to use this pot, which, what is that? Okay, that's just soil. I thought it was a spider for a second there. Okay. So I think these three would fit. Yeah, I think it'll be fine. I'm going to use this. There you go. I already have a mesh thing in there. Some lava rocks for drainage. My succulent soil mix. Let's see. And I don't want to hurt the babies, but they usually do a good job of coming through on their own. Okay. I feel like this is where it gets tricky when you try to, when they're not one body. If I forgot to look at the front of the pot. These pots have, oh, of course, these pots have little like stamps in them. So I always, when I pot them, I forget to center the stamps, and then I end up having to repot. I know it's silly, but I would like them to be centered. Don't want to hurt the roots. Okay, there's one. This one is all like wiggly, the roots. I don't know if I'm doing a good job. I don't want to hurt the roots. I'm gonna pull this one, back one out a little bit. Ooh. I feel like those roots are poking through because this one was all wiggly. Not much talking going on here. It's hard to talk and concentrate at the same time. Sorry about the shaking camera. I need to. This is what happens when you're a newbie. In recording. Yeah, hopefully this face will straighten out. It's kind of like curved. As you can see, there's like roots poking out here, but I don't know what to do about that because, as I mentioned, a lot of those roots were like bent. So hopefully, I'll have to take another look in a couple of weeks and see how it settles in, and make sure to add more soil if needed. Because I know a lot of times after you pot, Yeah, the roots kind of like grow upwards and outwards. And I mean, to be fair, I've seen a lot of channels where they talk about the Letizia being not so easy, and they're just very difficult plants. Not one of the easier ones. They like to get leggy, and yeah, they love putting on aerial roots. I don't know how tall they get. I feel like they get fairly tall because I've seen some in different various channels where they get like really tall, like 10 inches tall. The stems get really tall. So we'll see how these go. If they start getting leggy, I would love to plant them or repot them into something that's more a pot that's more tall and skinny. But for some reason, it's very hard to find pots that are tall and skinny. At least terracotta pots. I just feel like they don't really exist here. I'm always looking at sites to find other types of terracotta pots, but for some reason I have a hard time finding those. But it might be just I feel like in other countries I see a lot more variety of terracotta pots, but who knows? I'll have to keep searching. Okay. I think it looks good. Thanks for watching. Bye now.